16-year-old St. James boy shot in alleged police shootout charged. A 16-year-old schoolboy has been charged for being among persons who allegedly engaged the police in a shootout in Gut Bottom in Granville. He is charged with possession of a prohibited weapon, 2 counts of shooting with intent, using a firearm to commit a felony, and discharging a firearm in any place. The incident happened on Tuesday, November 12. Reports from the Montego Bay Police are that about 4 p.m., lawmen were on patrol in the area when they saw a Toyota Yaris motor car that fitted the description of a vehicle that had been used by robbers earlier in the day. Upon the approach of the police, the men reported they exited the vehicle and fired shots at them. The cops returned the fire and the men ran. The area was searched and the police say the teen was found with a gunshot wound. He was assisted to hospital where he was treated. During the investigation, the teen was charged. His court date is being finalized. The police say his accomplices are still being sought. NIDS cards now ready for distribution. The National Identification System NIDS cards are now ready for distribution. The National Identification and Registration Authority NIRA officially launched NIDS, taking over the administration of the civil registration system and replacing the Registrar General's Department RGD. NIDS is designed to create a comprehensive and secure framework for collecting and storing identity information. The voluntary system will also enable electronic signing of documents and allow individuals to access various government services online securely. Prime Minister Andrew Holness noted that he and Governor General Sir Patrick Allen were the first 2 people to receive their ID cards. The Prime Minister encouraged Jamaicans to choose NIDS, highlighting that the system enhances security and provides various digital benefits. He emphasized that NIDS laid the foundation for Jamaica's progression into a digital society.
This is a moment long in coming and a moment that the entire Jamaica can be proud of. As a nation, we have been talking about a national ID from as long ago as in the 70s. Several cabinet submissions, pieces of legislation were drafted, but we have never found the wherewithal to actually engage in and complete the process. We are now at the point where we can now actually print and deliver the national ID card. We have several identification documents. We have passports, we have our electoral ID, we have our driver's license. But as you would have seen earlier in the demonstrations that we had a chance to observe, none of them have the level of security that this card gives. But this card also gives an additional benefit. It allows for the conduct of digital transactions in a seamless way because it allows for digital electronic verification of the card. And that places us now in another step which we call the digital society. So the NIDS provides the basis on which we can now claim to be a digital society.
Judge rules in favor of BNS in check encashment fee case. The Supreme Court on Friday ruled in favor of Bank of Nova Scotia BNS in a lawsuit brought by a Member of Parliament for St. Catharines Southern Fitzjackson over the bank charging check encashment fees. Jackson argued through his attorney Anthony Williams that the bank had breached the Bills of Exchange Act, which it charges him a fee of $385 to encash a check valued at $2,500 in 2019. Judge Brown Beckford ruled that BNS was allowed to charge the fee according to the Banking Services Act. Honorable Brown Beckford delivered the judgment in the case of Mr. Fitzjackson versus Bank of Nova Scotia. In her judgment, she has ruled in favor of the Bank of Nova Scotia, with costs being a portion of 80 to 20 in favor of BNS. And so she highlighted certain things in her judgment in relation to whether or not the Bank of Nova Scotia had breached the law in relation to the encashment of checks and the imposition of bank fees, noted Williams. So the real issue in the case was whether or not Bank of Nova Scotia had the authority to impose bank fees. She was of the view that there were some banking codes that allowed them, he added. The lawyer further expressed that he and his client intend to appeal the decision. The ruling is not one that we expected or desired, and having had an initial preview of the rule, the argument put forward in the ruling and deliberations with the legal team, I am convinced that there are very, very strong grounds of mounting a successful appeal, and of such that will be done, Jackson noted. He sought to clarify that his case was not contended all banks' fees, only those levied on the encashment of checks. Jackson, however, took a small victory in his loss, as he said the bank has since ceased charging checks encashment fees. It is of note that the matter before BNS was not in respect of all banking fees, it was specifically in respect to the check encashment fee which was being levied. And I said have been, because I gather that they are now ceasing chargement of encashment fee. So we can see that there is some margin of success in this matter, in that they have formally terminated the imposition of encashment fees, the MP noted. Glowing tributes for retired CEO of Trelawney Municipal Corporation. There were glowing tributes Thursday for Chief Executive Officer CEO of Trelawney Municipal Corporation TMC Winston Palmer during what may have been his final appearance at a monthly meeting before heading off into early retirement. My family lives in the United States of America, and I will be joining them by the start of the new year, Palmer told reporters. Palmer was described as a mentor and leader, knowledgeable and impactful in the era of revenue generation, respectful and revered during accolations from the TMC's 9 councillors, administrative staff, and heads of agencies. Among those who lauded Palmer was Mayor of Falmouth, Councillor C. Junigajo. Mr. Palmer has given a sterling contribution to the Trelawney Municipal Corporation, where he has served 2 stints. The municipal corporation is better as a result of the human services he had provided over the years, Gage told reporters. I have had the privilege to work with him during both occasions that he has served here. He has set the standards high for all the workers and is a hard worker he acts to follow for his successors, added Gajon. After working in the private sector for 12 and a half years, Palmer started working at Manchester Municipal Corporation MMC as Chief Financial Officer on January 4, 1999. A year and a half later, he assumed the CEO post at the corporation. He was later transferred to St. James Municipal Corporation before heading to TMC. However, he would return to serve at MMC before being asked to return to TMC in January 2023. I have enjoyed my work with the municipal corporations over the years. I have had a wonderful relationship with my councillors, my MPs, Member of Parliament, the agencies. I think maybe because I love people, and I mean people well. In general, my staff, including councillors, I regard them as my family, Palmer told reporters. He said throughout his 25 years service in local government, he has been loyal to his employer. I basically am a man of conscience. I work in local government. I am loyal to local government. I am loyal to my employers. I don't waste government's time. I don't waste government's monies. I don't steal time to use it for personal purposes. So, if I have a meeting in Kingston and it's over, whether early or late, I return to my office and get my desk work done before I go home. I think it is a matter of principle, and we have to set examples as workers or even as managers. Also, we have to go out in the field. It's not about sitting around a desk saying, I am the CEO, I am the manager. You must be out there at the various facilities. You must be on the road, seeing what is happening as well, and you have to find creative ways of approaching problems and obtaining solutions. And at the same time, you must care about your staff, and you must allow for an atmosphere where your staff is happy to come to work and the productivity is good, added Palmer. He attributed his passion for revenue collection to his early years in the public sector, working as finance and administrator manager at Jamaica Manufacturers Association before going on to a British company called Commonwealth Development Corporation as a finance executive. Since coming back to Trelawney, we have basically grown the revenue significantly, and that is good in the sense that as a corporation here in Trelawney, we have been able to absorb a lot of the increases in expenditure, whether it is salary increase or otherwise. As a team, we have been able to drive the revenue, and trust me, I am passionate about that, maybe because of the private sector background. I will go after my receivables. I have a no-nonsense approach when it comes to that, Palmer stated. His alma mater include Manchester High School, the University of the West Indies, where he received a Bachelor's of Science in Management Studies with a minor in accounting, and Nova Southeastern University, where he read for his MBA. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.